Golf has a long history, from windswept courses overseas to country clubs and public courses and weekend tee times here in Arkansas. Celebrity historian Raffi Andonian is back to look at how the game began, how it grew in America, and how it found a place in our state. Thanks for joining us, Raffi.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm hard to be here.
I feel like you work on those entry lines at home, and I love it.
I love a good dad joke. I mean,
Yeah, come on.
It's great.
So how did golf begin?
It goes back to the medieval times in Scotland, as you might imagine, as we know. There are many games that use balls and sticks, of course, across all the time and cultures, but particularly using the stick to get the ball in the hole is what the origins of golf would be. And it makes sense. If you think about the landscape in Scotland, it looks like a golf course. You have short grass because the grazing culture there keeps the grass low. Of course, the water and this natural sand traps that are going to be in that landscape. So we just kind of create a little Scotland when we're creating a golf course. Now, over time, it evolves. Initially, the balls are kind of these wooden, round things. Eventually, they start to put in, cowhide. They start to put in gum, like sopadilla, like what you put in gum to have that bounciness, and eventually rubber. And so that's what we have inside this shell today is rubber. That's what makes it so bouncy. And eventually you get these little grooves, these pores, if you will, that are going to be there that help it travel further. Because think about it, when the ball is smooth, it's not going to have the same aerodynamic, kind of like if you could compare it to baseball. When the pitcher wants to have it fast, it rotates with the laces to be used. But if you want it to move around erratically, then they're going to have it try to stay still. The same rule applies to a golf ball. So the golf ball evolves over time as well to create the modern game that we have here. It comes here to the United States with Scottish immigrants in the colonial period in the 19th century. You're going to have them bringing the game here to the U.S., and we have our U.S. version here. Beautiful big landscapes here to do that in.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so how did the game of golf become popular in the U.S.?
Because of the game coming here with the immigrants. However, just because the game come here, it doesn't mean that it's going to be very popular. What made it popular was presidents playing it. McKinley, who was a president in the late 19th century, was the first president we know of to play golf. And most presidents since then have played golf. And you can't remember, there's this sort of debate all the time, is the president spending too much time on the golf course? You get that come up every single president. There's the same question. And the king of doing so was Eisenhower in the 1950s. He averaged about 100 days of golf per year, believe it or not. He was doing it quite a bit. I worked at Gettysburg at the Civil War battlefield. The only home that Eisenhower ever owned, a private home, was actually at Gettysburg. The Eisenhower home is there.
Wow.
And it's 90 miles from Washington, D.C. While he was president, he'd go back and forth quite a bit. And I remember seeing firsthand the putting green he had at his home so he could play some at home as well. He received many foreign heads of state there. And so they would be doing these kinds of things. And paired with that is Arnold Palmer, who was the peak golfer in the United States in the 1950s. He hung out a lot with Eisenhower. I thought that Palmer was a good example as a good red-blooded American as a role model. So that also helped kind of promote it and become a popular sport. Arnold Palmer, of course, is an icon in pop culture because you still have the Arnold Palmer drink to this day. His name lives on in many different ways.
Yeah.
And so that's how golf really becomes popular. And that's the television era in the 1950s, mass media. That really makes it take off in the U.S.
Are you ready for the lightning round?
Let's do it.
Let's localize it to Arkansas. How did the game become popular
as part of that spread, it comes here in Arkansas. Of course, John Daly is the one that's known from the Arkansas as an Arkansas native. But University of Arkansas, right here at NWA, has some good history too. You have R.H. Sykes, who of course was a national champion in the NCAA on the men's side in the 1960s. And more recently, you have a female champion in the 2000 and 2007, of course.
Marjo.
That's right. That's right. So you have a history here of college golf as well as pro golfers becoming, big stars on the national and international stage.
Do you play?
No, I don't. I just know the history.
You just know the history. Have you ever been to like Top Golf even?
Of course, I've done mini golf and Top Golf, and I'm terrible.
Yes,
so I'm not going to try at 300 yards what I can't do at 3 yards.
I'm terrible also. What about you? How's your golf game?
I took golf in college and still can't play.
Yeah.
I'm a Top Golf fan.
It's tough to
it's
shout out to.
Frustrating game.
Yeah, I know. Shout out to the University of Arkansas and all those student athletes who are over there and all the people who have come through here before, right?
That's right.
Lopez.
That's right.
And with the success that we're having now, even John Daly's son golfs here at the University of Arkansas. So it's great stuff. Thanks for bringing us this history of the game of golf to us today.